Hi guys! Welcome back to Cancer Free Cree. I'm here today with my little nugget. This is Lennox. Say hi!
Hi.
This is my 21-month-old baby boy and my little precious nugget. And he's here to help me today, so I'm excited to cook with him, and although he'll probably be doing more playing than cooking, right now he's munching on some tomatoes. Tomatoes? Yummy. Anyway, so today I am going to be doing my super simple detox soup. If you're anything like me, you are ready for a detox after the holidays. With all the indulgence and all the yummy, amazing food, whether you're plant-based or not, it is a lot. So my digestive system needs a little bit of a break. Yeah, yummy. My digestive system needs a little bit of a break. So I'm making this yummy detox soup to give me lots of boosts of energy, vitamins, minerals, and that's also healthy with restoring gut health. So yeah, I hope you guys like it, enjoy, and delicious. Okay, we're ready to get started. So I have everything kind of pre-cut and measured here, and really when you're making anything like soup, it's that's ginger. When you're making something like soup, it doesn't have to be an exact science, and really you can use anything that you have in your refrigerator. So I have a mix of veggies here. I have some chopped up shallot. You could use regular onion. I have carrot, celery, just diced up really fine. I like my veggies kind of smaller in my soup. I have some shredded green cabbage. I also have a bunch, probably about 2 cups worth of beet greens. You could use kale or spinach or whatever you have on hand. I also have 1 minced garlic clove. I have some chopped up cherry tomatoes. And then I have, for my noodle component, I have some zoodles. So super easy, super yummy. I use this crazy contraption, which I'll show you. This thing. Look at that. This makes zoodles. They have smaller things that are a lot easier, or not easier, but take up less space that you could totally use, but whatever works for you. I also have a half of a lemon. I have, are you eating lemon? I have some homemade veggie stock and a little bit of soy sauce that's going to help give us a little pop of that salty umami flavor in our soup too. And while I'm making this, I'm sipping on my dandelion root tea. This is actually roasted dandelion, and this is an amazing detox tea. It's non-caffeinated, it's completely herbal, and it has this really nice toasted, very strong flavor. It's kind of shocking at first, the flavor, but it's really good. I love roasted dandelion root tea as a detox tea because it flushes out your system. It's a natural diuretic, and for me it works really, really well. By diuretic, I mean that it's going to make you pee a lot. But it's a great way to flush out toxins from your system that way. You could use this as a coffee substitute with cream or even a little bit of sweetener. I prefer not to use it on the daily just because it is such a strong diuretic for me, and I don't want to cleanse my system too much. But anyway, so yeah, this is what I'm sipping on. Detox tea while I make my detox soup. Delicious. What's that? Soy sauce or tamari?
Hi.
Tamari. All right, so why don't we get cooking? So I'm going to turn on my flame over medium. It's right hot. And I'm going to put in a little bit of oil. I don't want to use too much oil since this is a detox soup, but just a little bit to cook our veggies in. I'd say it's probably maybe a teaspoon or so. So not too much. Ooh, what'd you find?
Hi.
My little helper here. Okay. So once the oil is hot, then we're gonna toss in our veggies and get those cooking. In addition to having something like a detox soup in my back pocket for days when I'm feeling just a little extra bloated or yucky, I do things like juices. So I'll make homemade juices with carrots and ginger, lemon. Sometimes those are great for colds too. Celery is an amazing detoxer, and Sorry, we got zoodles happening over here. What was I saying? Oh, so I do the dandelion root tea, I do juices, I'll do green smoothies, I'll also do, you know, just like simple dishes like sauteed veggies with like a little side of avocado or some white beans. So just trying to keep it simple so that, hi, keeping it simple so that I'm not just overwhelming my digestive system. I also love things like miso soup and lentil soup, yummy. All right, so our pan is looking good. So I'm gonna dump in our shallot, our carrot, and our celery. All right, so our veggies have been cooking for a few minutes and they're starting to get tender and the onion is translucent. So now we're gonna put in our aromatics, which is our ginger and our garlic. So I'm actually gonna use frozen ginger because it grates a lot easier, and then a microplane. You can use just a small grater if you'd like as well, but these work the best. So we're just gonna grate our ginger right into the pan. And I'm doing a half teaspoon of fresh grated ginger. You can eyeball it and use more or less depending on your ginger preference. Ginger is a great detoxifying component, so I highly recommend adding it to your soup. I also am going to put in our minced garlic. I'm going to give that a stir. And we're just going to cook this for 30 seconds to a minute, just until you can smell it. You don't want to burn your garlic, in this case at least. Okay, and then when that's ready, we're gonna toss in our beet greens and our cabbage.
Wow.
That looks good. So in go the beet greens. Again, you can use spinach, you can use kale, you can use whatever. We used beets for Christmas dinner, and so I saved the beet greens from the tops, and you can saute them like Swiss chard. They're really good. Oh, thank you. And Lennox is adding in the tomatoes. Half-eaten tomatoes. Good job, buddy. Thank you. Uh-oh. Did it fall? You got it? Where'd it go? Uh-oh. There's one more. So we're just going to give the veggies a little bit of a stir here. And we just want them to kind of wilt down. Thank you. And once they're wilted, we're going to add in our broth. Good job. Our turmeric and then our tamari. Okay, our veggies are wilted down. So we're going to add in broth. And I'm putting about 3 cups or so. Thank you, bud. Maybe a little bit less. You just want to basically cover the veggies. And just a little bit more. And again, this can be all based on personal preference, whether you like more broth to veggie or whatever you like. So we're going to crank the heat up to high, and we want to bring the soup to a boil. And I'm also going to add in about a 1/4 teaspoon or so of turmeric. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly measured. And turmeric has a very strong flavor, but it is an amazing anti-inflammatory and has so many incredible properties. So I always include it in my detox soups, or even you know, like a noodle soup that I'm making for when I have a cold or when someone else in the family does. Thank you. And then I'm also gonna add in I'm gonna start with about a 1/2 teaspoon of tamari or soy sauce. Careful, bud. And so I'm going to give that a stir. And I'm not going to salt anything until it's come to a boil and it's simmered for a little bit, because the flavors will kind of meld together and it might not need as much salt. So I'm going to wait until the very end. But the soy sauce gives it a little bit of saltiness as well. So we're going to bring this to a boil and then we're going to come back. Okay, so our soup has come to a little bit of a boil. So I'm going to turn it down to a simmer and I'm going to add in our zucchini noodles. And you can do zucchini noodles, you can even do like carrot noodles or sweet potato noodles, or you can do regular noodles, rice noodles. You can also add in beans and other types of protein sources. Garbanzo beans are one of my favorites. What? You want the lemon? No? Okay. So we're gonna let the zucchini noodles just simmer for a little bit. And I have this on like medium low, and then we're gonna add in some lemon juice. And the lemon juice is just gonna add the lemon juice is just gonna add a little bit of brightness in the soup. So right now it has kind of that savoriness, but it needs a little bit of acid for brightness. So we're gonna dump that in there. And this was the juice, probably about a quarter of a lemon to start with. And then this is also based on personal preference, so I'm gonna mix it in and give it a little taste. Oh, thank you. Lennox thinks it needs more. And I think it does too. So I'm gonna do a little bit more. You can even add in lemon zest if you want a little bit more than that. And I think I might need the other half of my lemon here. Other half of lemon. Only had maybe about a teaspoon or so of juice in it. So we're juicing. Juice. All right, that's a little bit more perfect. So I'm gonna add in, so maybe this will be about 2 teaspoons-ish total to start. And again, just if you like it. I love lemon, so I like a little bit of. Yeah, perfect. And so I can taste the lemon in it. All right, so we don't want to overcook zucchini noodles too much because they're gonna kind of fall apart. So these actually look nice and done. So when they're just kind of softened and heated through. So good. Lennox, what do you think? Good?
Yeah.
Does it look yummy?
Nice.
Yeah? Yummy. Should we try it? Okay. You want to taste it? Is it good? Yummy? You want to try it again? The joys of being in the kitchen with a child. All of the knives, all of the fire, all of the heat. But it's important to get your kids in the kitchen because they can learn how to cook for themselves. And cook healthy, that is. All right, so here's our soup. It looks so good. I know it's really hard for you to see it. It's brothy, it's lemony, it's bright. It's so good. I could eat this every single day. Say bye to everybody. Bye. Say love you. How's your soup, bud? Was it delicious? Kids eating greens. Hallelujah.